What is up, everyone? It's Brandon from Tattooing 101, and today we're going to be learning tattoo drawings, or how to draw for actual tattoos. This could be different from other art forms because you're specifically drawing in order to incorporate flow with the body. And if you are first starting out, this video is going to help you build up the confidence in order to create designs, which is the number one most important thing to becoming a tattoo artist. Even before you learn sterilization or even pick up a tattoo machine, you need to have the ideas and knowledge on how to draw actual designs, because that's going to help you get an apprenticeship and things like that. As always, make sure you're liking and subscribing down below so you can keep up to date on all the new tattooing content we make each week. Now let's get into learning how to draw for tattoo designs. Alright, so let's get into how to draw for tattooing. If you are a beginner to this and you're just trying to pick up the steps on how to learn how to draw for the actual tattooing process, this is the video for you. So we're going to start out today with an arm. So anytime I'm drawing for a part of the body, usually I use the actual client because obviously they're going to have tattoos, and sometimes you need to be able to incorporate different things with the other tattoos that they have. Going with the flow of everything, things like that, and the flow of the body. So I'm going to show you very quickly what I mean by that. So if I'm doing something on the arm, you could kind of see that, the flow is like this. It goes with the muscles, the structure of the body. So like kind of a, S shape like this. And that's going to incorporate really nice flow when it comes to the tattoo. So I had someone come to me this week wanting a feather tattoo, and I was thinking that's a great thing to kind of incorporate flow, different things like that. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. I'm going to show you how to draw a feather tattoo. And a question I have for you, is there anything out there you would like to see me draw? If you're having trouble with one sort of design, leave it down in the comments, and if there's enough people that feel the same way, I'll do a video specifically for how to draw that tattoo. Awesome. So we're going to start out right here, always starting out with my red on a different layer. And we're just going to, have this flow mark right here. So I'm going to have the feather kind of come down through here, just getting my shapes together, things like that, to help me understand exactly where everything needs to go. So this is going to be the middle of my feather, and then I'm going to have it come like this, down to the wrist. So this is a very quick sketch of getting everything in order, exactly where I want everything to be, the sizes of everything. And I think I'm going to make the top of it a quill. I feel like that would be cool as well. And we can just change it like this if the top of it's going to be a quill. So I'm just going to flip it just so the quill part is actually on the bottom like this. I feel like that would be cooler. Right, like that. Cool. So you can see we have the flow of the arm, everything kind of mapped out to the size I want everything to be. Now we're going to go in here and choose our blue. And this is going to be our basics of the design. It's not going to be our completed one. We're going to do that in black on the last layer. That's what we're going to use for like the stencil, things like that. But this is just going to be the rough draft of where everything needs to go. And always remember, if you are doing a straight line, you can hold down, on this, just don't pick it up, and it'll make a perfectly straight line. Or if you're trying to do, a little bit of a curve, it will let you kind of correct it a little bit. Or if you're doing something like this, it'll correct it that way. But if you're doing a curve like this, you want to make sure your streamline's up, because it can be really, really hard, and it's not really going to correct something like this. It's just going to try to make it a straight line. So that's one thing to keep in mind as well. And also with circles, I'm going to do my circles here. Just hold down, and it'll make perfect circles or perfect ovals every single time, which makes your life a whole lot easier. You can also hold down on it and change the size, which is cool too. Anything to make your life easier and the drawing process a little bit easier is going to help out a ton. Okay, right like that. Then we're going to just work on the actual feather part. So we're going to have this come down like this. We'll have the bottom part come out. Then I'm going to go do this one more neo-traditional. So I'm just going to have my lines come down like this. Going to have a couple of the breaks in there, just to show some flow. same to the bottom, and then we're going to go back with our black, and that'll be the end of this design. I'll probably add a few more things with it after I kind of see it as a whole. I always like to just go back and change a few things before my design's complete. It did take me quite a while to learn how to draw feathers correctly. You know, they always looked kind of, just didn't have really nice flow to them whenever I was learning, so I practiced them a lot in my apprenticeship until I got them down. Because, I don't know, with me, I do tattoo a lot of flowers, a lot of feathers, things like that. It's just something that, you know, it's kind of like timeless. People have been getting feathers for really ever when it came to tattoos, you know, like with Native American stuff. You know, a lot of people like to get feathers, headdresses, stuff like that, so it's not something that if you practice it you're not going to use, which is why I chose something like this, because more than likely you're going to tattoo a lot of feathers, a lot of you know, flowers, a lot of infinity signs, things like that, because that's what people are going to want when you're an apprentice. They're not going to want you to do a full back piece or, you know, crazy realism whenever you're first starting out. This is what, you know, if you're getting into a tattoo shop, they're going to be teaching you to draw, because that's what the shop is going to be having you do as walk-ins. Awesome, so this is my rough sketch. I'm going to go back through here with my black now. I'm going to turn down the opacity so that way I could see where everything needs to go with the design. And then we're going to go back through here, and this is going to be my final for this design, so I'm going to be really careful going through, doing everything exactly how I want it to make a great stencil. Make sure you're on a different layer. I do that all the time, and I've been using iPad for years, so just make sure you're always making sure that you're using a different layer. And anytime I'm drawing, I'm going to be drawing with the size of the needle I'm going to use in mind. So with this, I'm going to be using a 14 or even an 11 round liner. So I want that really thick outline. So when I print this off, it's going to be exactly the size that I want it to for my stencil. And I like to use this brush right here because I could do different sizes just by pressing. So if I want a really light line, I could just do that. Or a really thick line, I just have to press harder. That's kind of like how I draw. It really helps me out, saving a lot of time when it comes to like not having to switch through different brushes all the time. So if that's something you're interested in, you know, I check out DigiPen Steady. There's a lot of Dave Tevenall's brushes in here that I really like as well for making more digital art. So yeah, check them out. I really like them a lot. Come out here, do one there. Then just going through and doing all the detail like you would actually be doing the tattoo. Another thing, if you're first starting out, this is what you're going to want to be practicing. You know, when you first start out, you want to jump straight into like, you know, tattooing and working on tattoo machines, but this is what's going to help you in your career, actually taking the time to learn to draw, because other people are doing this and they're just trying to jump straight in, learning how to tattoo, but then when they try to go get an apprenticeship, they don't have any drawings or anything like that, and they're going to have a really hard chance of getting that job because they didn't go through the appropriate steps learning. So yeah, if you just follow the right steps, I promise you it's going to help your career out a lot better than just trying to jump the gun and learning everything at once, because it could just make your life a whole lot harder. And that's also involving a hard industry to get in to begin with. So doing little things like this will definitely help out your chances. If you're having a hard time drawing things like this, the best thing you could do is just turn this video on and just follow every step that I'm doing. I used to do that a lot. You know, whenever I first started drawing when I was a kid, there was like shows on TV, you know, watching like Bob Ross and things like that. You know, I try to copy everything he did, and it actually did help out a ton. Just instead of trying to learn everything on your own, just following what other artists do will just help you get that muscle memory and learn how to do everything correctly from the get-go. And also remember to hold in to make your circles perfect. That way when your stencil's done, it is absolutely perfect. All you have to do is follow that circle, because circles can be really hard to tattoo to begin with, so using all of the tools to your advantage will definitely help out. Okay, so we could get rid of that bottom layer, and this is going to be our actual stencil and where it's going to go out in the body. You know, depending on what the person was wanting, I might move it up a little bit, and you know, if they're wanting more traditional, I'm going to add, you know, some ink splatters to make them look like blood or something like that. That'll be a cool little addition to kind of fill in some area, which would be super cool. But yeah, incorporating flow with your designs is one thing that you definitely want to keep in mind as a young artist trying to get into tattooing, because it's going to help you out a ton in your future of becoming that tattoo artist or getting your dream job in the studio that you want. So this is how I draw a tattoo design. I hope this was able to help you guys out. And like I said, make sure you leave that comment down below so I can help you guys any way I can. And if you found this valuable, make sure you're liking and subscribing down below so you can keep up to date on all the new content we come out with each week. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.